We also remain deeply committed to securing the release of American citizens who are unjustly detained abroad and deserve to be reunited with their families, just like the Bergdahls soon will be.
He served the United States with honor and distinction, and we'll have the opportunity eventually to learn what has transpired in the past years.
Well, I think we're getting closer. The White House touted then its efforts to bring Sergeant Bowe Bergdahl home, but 6 months after the military started investigating the soldier's apparent desertion from his post, the findings are still, locked up somewhere in the Pentagon. So is the White House withholding the Bergdahl report hostage? Joining us right now is retired Marine and Fox News military analyst, Lieutenant Colonel Bill Cowan. Although Marines never really retire, he's joining us right now from Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Colonel, why do you think we haven't heard from this? Dempsey said the other day we should hear from the White House and the Pentagon fairly shortly on this.
Steve, I don't think there's any winners when they released this report. It's sitting on the desk of the commanding general of Forces Command, General Milley, however you say it, and I don't envy him. If he puts that, he's going to make the decision about whether or not Bergdahl is going to be court-martialed. If he says no court-martial, no punishment, I think that's a real disservice to the thousands of American men and women who served in both Iraq and Afghanistan, because most of them know Bergdahl's story. If he says he is going to be charged, the White House is not going to like that, because that means the Taliban 5 were probably not worth the Bowe Bergdahl that we got back.
Sure, but the story we were sold, the fairy tale at the beginning from, Susan Rice talking about how he served with honor and distinction, we know that's not true. We know from his own, the people who served with him, the guy who walked off post, he said, I've had enough. I don't like the mission here. I'm leaving. But if they don't court-martial him, there's a possibility he could wind up with a couple $100,000 because he was held as a POW, benefits, things like that. How will the people who are serving today feel if the administration and the Pentagon, of course, says, you know what, it wasn't so bad. We understand. We're going to let him have a pass on this.
Yeah, Steve, I think that's such a disgrace. It'd be such a disservice to men and women. We have tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of men and women who served with honor and distinction, Susan Rice's own words, in Iraq and Afghanistan. And, Bergdahl walked off. He said he was ashamed to be an American. He walked out. He got caught up by some people, turned over to the Haqqani network. There's allegations out there that he may have helped them a little bit, may have conspired with them, may have taught them some of our techniques, tactics, and procedures. So there's real questions also about whether he was really somebody who went to the other side for a while, even though there are indications that he may have tried to come back. It's a very complex case, I think, if you look at all the pieces of information out there. But at the end of the day, I think all of us who served in the military would agree this guy needs to be charged, and he needs to spend some hard time somewhere reflecting on what he did and why he did it.
Absolutely. We're all waiting to see what the Pentagon says about Bowe Bergdahl. Lieutenant Colonel Bill Cowan joins us today from North Carolina. Sir, thank you very much.